This kind of person. All righty, let's acknowledge us for being the cool people we are. So are you ready for some mastery?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to start out with an exercise tonight. So I would like to ask you to just kind of tune in for a minute so that we can release the day. We've been out in the lab. How did you do today? Yeah, is it pretty good? All right, great. Because sometimes it's a trip walking around in your own mind. And then seeing what's going on there, because that's exactly what's happening, according to this, that we don't have to believe. So you don't have to believe the ideas tonight if you're here for the first time. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to welcome it. Some of it you might resist. Some of it you might find hard to believe and quite startling. You're not asked to judge it and analyze it, but if you use it, you'll see that it works. And if nothing else, look at it like a fascinating experience of hearing ideas and concepts that might be radically different from what we've been taught and what we may believe. I get excited about this just because I get a chance to at least hear something different. Mm-hmm. Even if sometimes I go, whoa, but at least it's relaxing and entertaining. You know what I'm saying? I actually heard something different than what I normally think. And because it's something different from what we normally hear, it's a great possibility it might be true. Yeah. Because the world that we are seeing is the result of what we've learned from the world. So we already see what doesn't work. So it might be interesting to get some ideas that might be what do work. Okay, so just close your eyes just for a minute, if you don't mind, and kind of cut out all the extra sensory stuff around you. And I'd like for you to think about something that maybe today you thought about that caused you to feel less than peaceful. I know it might be difficult, but try. So I want you to turn your awareness away from what you think is causing the disturbance. Like whatever you think is the cause of the disturbance, take your mind away from that person, take your mind away from that person, take your mind away from that circumstance, and remember this very first axiom. You are the source of your experience. 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 If you are feeling disturbed right now about anything, say, what is it in me that needs to be healed? What is it in me that needs to be healed? Say that to yourself. What is it in me that needs to be healed? What is it in me that needs to be healed? What is it in me that needs to be healed? What is it in me that needs to be healed? Then begin to breathe, 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 breathe deeply and with a sense of rhythm. Let your body soften and relax. Let the body soften and relax and ask, what is it within this person's energy? If it's a person, ask yourself, what is it in this person's energy that is really causing my reaction? What is it within this person's energy that is really causing my reaction? What is it in this person's energy that is causing my reaction? What is it in this person's energy that is causing my reaction? So I'll say it again. You are the source of your experience. So when you're feeling disturbed, ask yourself, what is it in me that needs to be healed? What is it in me that needs to be healed? Begin to breathe, relax, and then say, what is it within this person's energy that is really causing my reaction. You will see right away, oh, for instance, they're too critical, their criticism pushes my buttons. Then ask yourself, when have I been critical to somebody? When have I done that? Whatever it is that's disturbing you about that other person, ask yourself, when have I done that? When have I done that to another? When have I done what I am disturbed about what the other person is doing to me? When have I done that? When have I been critical of others, for instance? When have I lost my temper? When have I gotten upset? Or memories will come back. Distasteful memories might come back. And if you're judging them, some distasteful memories might come back. Let all the distasteful memories come back. But continue to breathe and relax even as you're thinking these distasteful memories about what you think this person or situation has done to you. Then look upon that energy of being angry or being critical, because it's your creations coming back to you, so that you can embrace your own creations coming back to you, and then you can transform these creations coming back to you. Whatever you are disturbed about is your own creations coming back to you. Whatever you're disturbed about in that other person is your own creations coming back to you, so that you can embrace them and transform them. Just stay with it. Just stay with it. Just stay with it. Look at it. Then say, oh, for instance, critical. Oh, yeah, I can sure be critical. Angry? Yeah, I can sure get angry. I can surely get angry. Whatever it is, just own it as something that you could feel also. Say, I've been that way in the past. I've been that way in the past. Whatever it is that's disturbing me about another person, say, I've been that way in the past. I've been that way in the past. I've been afraid in the past. I've been angry in the past. I've misperceived in the past. I know that energy. I know this energy very well. I know this energy very well. I know this energy very well because I've been that way in the past. Now look at the scene in your memory, the thing that you think happened. Look at the scene where you've been the way that you think the other person is. Try to remember a time when you've been the way that you think the other person is being that's disturbing you. And then you say to yourself, for instance, I forgive me for being critical. I forgive me for losing my temper. I forgive me for losing my temper. I forgive me for getting angry. I forgive me for being selfish. I forgive me for being careless. Whatever it is that you think you're upset about that other person about, say, I forgive me for being that way. I forgive me for being that way. I forgive my judgment of myself. 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 Then go, I choose to teach only love. 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 And the Course in Miracles teaches that to teach means to demonstrate. So I choose to demonstrate only love. 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 And then watch that image disappear. Watch that image dissolve from your mind. Then bring your awareness back to this moment, to this room right now. And then bring your awareness back to that person that pushed your button. Bring your awareness back to that person that pushed your button. Think about that person that pushed your button. Think about that person that pushed your button. Think about that person that pushed your button. Again, you don't need to say anything to that person at all. You don't need to say anything to that person at all. That person that pushed your button, that person that disturbed you, you don't have to say, you don't need to say anything to them at all. Although you might, you don't need to. But within yourself, forgive them. Forgive them for allowing that energy to temporarily make a home in their mind. I forgive you for temporarily losing your mind. I forgive you for temporarily being angry or selfish. I forgive you. I forgive you for temporarily being the way that you have been that pushed my button. And then ask the Holy Spirit. Ask the Holy Spirit. Ask the voice for love. Ask the voice for truth. Ask the truth within you to replace your perception with the truth. I'm going to ask the love in me to replace my perception of this with the truth. I'm going to ask the divine within me to replace this feeling with the truth. Replace this feeling with the truth. Replace this feeling with the truth. The Course in Miracles would say, you could say, I choose peace instead of this. I choose peace instead of this. I choose peace. I choose peace. I choose peace instead of this. And then ask to see the innocent light within them. I ask to see the innocent light within this person. I ask to see the innocent light within this person. I ask to see the innocent light within this person. I ask to see the innocent light within this person. I ask to see the innocent light within this person. And as you cultivate this, as you keep doing this, you will become very good at it. You will be able to do it one day so fast, just like snapping your fingers. What are you talking about? You will be able to say, boom, that person is disturbing me. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to transform it. I'm going to forgive myself for being the way that I see them as being. And I'm going to forgive my judgment of myself. I'm going to choose to teach only love. And after a while, you'll do that so fast that it will be as quick as snapping your fingers. And once you begin to see the light in that person, you can ask the Holy Spirit, you can ask the Spirit of the Divine, you can ask your higher power, what is this critical energy in them masking? In other words, what is this person crying out for? What is this person crying out for? What is this energy that they're giving off? What is it hiding? What is it masking? And then ask, what are they really crying out for? What are they really crying out for? What are they really crying out for? And when you look at it that way, you will begin to feel compassion. And if you ask in compassion, what is this person crying out for? It will be revealed to you why they are hurting inside. And lo and behold, instead of being reactionary toward them, you might be compassionate toward them. If you ask, what is this person really crying out for that's making them act in this way, that is triggering me this way because I've been that way in the past? And you will find that your choice of words and your own behavior might turn out to be completely different than you could have ever imagined in that situation with them. And at the point that you ask the question, what is this person really crying out for? What's behind their behavior? What's behind the way that they're treating me? What's behind this situation? And you say, what are they really crying out for? Then through you will flow easily what serves them. So we just heard exactly what we're supposed to do whenever somebody pushes your button. So I can no longer say I don't know how to handle it differently when somebody's upsetting me or pushing my button. Number one, I need to, first of all, turn my attention away from the person that I think is upsetting me, because they're just presenting me with an opportunity to be disturbed. I'll say it again. People who disturb you are just presenting you with an opportunity. People who upset you are just presenting you with an opportunity. Earl, everybody and every person that upsets you is just presenting you with an opportunity. So we are so fortunate that we get so many opportunities to be disturbed. If if dealing with the disturbance and learning how to deal with the disturbance is the key to happiness, then the more opportunities that I have to get disturbed, that equals the more opportunities I have to learn how to let go of disturbance. And then one day I won't get disturbed about anything. How do you do that? First of all, you say, I count it as a blessing that I feel disturbed. I count it as a blessing that I feel disturbed. How many thousands of times do you think we would need to hear that before we actually say it? It would have to be thousands. Really, yes. Seriously. That, I don't know about you, but do you have a tendency to walk right out of a class like this and forget 90% of everything that you just heard? Yeah. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. That we'll sit up in here and we'll be so aware of what's being said, and then we'll walk out of here and then we don't. But that's because we haven't heard it enough. We haven't said it to ourselves enough. We haven't let it be said to ourselves enough. The clicking. Just, like the camera's going to be click, 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 click. It always goes to whatever sound. Thanks. So, I don't know about you, but I'm thankful for the class that we have and what we do together, because it gives me an opportunity to hear this over and over and over again, right? And then it's saying to us that the first thing I want to do, I think I'm mad, I need to turn my attention away from whoever, whatever I think I'm mad about. That's the first thing. Then it goes on to say, you need to stop for a minute, Purdy, and everybody in the room, and say, I'm the source of my experience. I'm the one that's the source of this experience. I'm the one that's the source of this experience. I'm the one that's the source of this experience. I'm feeling disturbed. So notice that it didn't try to tell us not to act disturbed or acknowledge that we're disturbed. It didn't say, be positive. It said, tell yourself, I'm feeling disturbed. We've already probably done that 100 times. At that very time, because if I'm upset with you, I am feeling disturbed. Okay, so I'm just not being negative. I'm telling you how I feel. I've met people who are afraid to say what they think of as anything that sounds slightly negative, because they think if they do that, they're going to create it. And I'm saying, if you feel negative, you've already created it. It's done. That's why you're upset. It's already been. You don't have to worry about it's going to happen. It's already happened. That's why I'm disturbed. So don't be afraid to tell the truth about how you're feeling to yourself, right? Then it told us, now here's the tricky part. I'm feeling disturbed. What is it in me that needs to be healed? I'm feeling disturbed. What is it in me that needs to be healed? I'm angry at you. So what is it in me? Now, I don't know about you, but my old way of handling it was, I'm angry at you, and what is it that you have done, and what is it about you that needs to be healed or fixed, right? And then it says, well, I'm upset. What is it in me that needs to be healed? I'm upset. What is it in me that needs to be healed? Then the next thing, the way of mastery says is, I'm upset, breathe. What? You mean you don't, I shouldn't cuss them out? No. Breathe. Breathe. I'm upset. Breathe. What is it in me that needs to be healed? Breathe. What is it in me that needs to be healed? Breathe. Then it said, relax. And then ask, now you go to what is it in this person's energy that's causing my reaction. Notice that before it asked us to deal with the other person at all, part one was us telling ourselves the truth. Here it goes. I'm feeling disturbed. I'm getting an opportunity. I'm blessed. I'm going to turn my awareness away from who I think is causing it. And I'm going to say to myself, I'm the source of my experience. I'm feeling disturbed. What is it in me that needs to be healed? What is it within this person's energy that's really causing my reaction? The key word being really causing my reaction. What's really causing I don't like what they said to me. What is it that's really causing your reaction? And you will see it right away. They're being critical. Criticism pushes my buttons. When have I done that to somebody? Where have I done that to somebody? Then we were told, well, I'm being critical because they're critical. That's what we do it. I'm being critical because you're being critical. The Course says, no. I love it. Let the memories come back. Let the distasteful memories come back. It says, if you're judging them. But then it tells us, let them come back, breathe, relax, look at the energy. Now this is the part that's a trip. Honor it, love it because it's a creation. It's your creations coming back to you. It's your creations coming back. That disturbance that it looked like the other person is causing, that's a reflection of my creations coming back to me. Then it says, so that you can embrace it. They're not coming back to me so that I can judge myself as being a horrible person. It's coming back to me so that I can embrace it and transform it. How do you do that? How do you embrace those energies? How do you transform those energies? Just stay with it and look at it and then go, I can sure be that way. I can surely be that way myself. Oh, look at that. Oh, look acting a fool. I can surely be that way myself. Have you ever done something that was so out of character and so crazy that you, even to the day, sometimes are tempted to feel ashamed and guilty about it? You know, like running down the street half naked, throwing your shoe at somebody or something like that. And when you look back at the situation, you go, I cannot believe I just did that. He says, well, that's what you do. You say, I've been that way in the past. I know that energy. Jealousy. Oh, I know that energy. I've been that way in the past. Then he says, look upon a scene in your memory in which you have been the one being critical, and then say, I forgive myself for that. I forgive myself for that. I choose to teach only love. And then he says, at some point, you're going to ask yourself, that person that seems like they're upsetting me, what is that upset really hiding? What is it that they're really crying out for? Then you might be compassionate. At the point that you are compassionate, then it says, through you will flow exactly what will help them. At that point. Then it says, when I was being nailed to the cross, this is Yeshua, when I was being nailed to the cross, there was one who raised the mallet to strike the nail. He raised the mallet, I love this, his eyes met mine for a moment. You know, that's pretty deep. You know, you nail it, you know, you about to hammer a nail through somebody's hand, and y'all look at each other in the eyes. Be a tripping butterfly music started. But and it says, I did exactly what I've described to you. By this time I had mastered this, so it was done very quickly. I asked myself, have I ever wanted to drive a nail through somebody else? And I remembered my murderous thoughts. I had such a challenging situation in my perception with my father when I was a child, relative to my mom, in a way that it looked like he was treating my mom from the perspective of a child, and the kind of fear that that got with seeing physical abuse, that I can remember vividly saying, I wish my father was dead. And if he was dead, we would have peace. Don't be too spiritual that you can't remember having those feelings about something, okay? And that's what he's saying. Well, when I had murderous thoughts, the difference is now that person might have acted on those murderous thoughts. So I'm reading in the paper about the guy that shot his wife to death. You see what I'm saying? But it's no difference. I had murderous thoughts. He had murderous thoughts. I had murderous thoughts in the past. So it says, then I forgave myself. I brought my attention back to that one, and I asked only to see the light in the person that was about to drive the nail through my hand. And I asked, what is it that this action is mirroring, reflecting in me? What is it masking in him? And I saw that person's soul, and I loved that person's soul, and I felt compassion for that person. In that moment, mark my words, in that moment of eye contact, I got it. In the moment of eye contact, I got it. And then it says, because my energy was different, it created the space in which the soul could make a new choice. So if you're upset or you're about to hurt me, and I can say, where have I been just like you? And then turn around and have a different energy about it, he says that creates the space where that person can make another choice. Notice that what we're being given are step-by-step instructions about how to deal with everything that disturbs us. why won't I do it? Why won't I take a week and say, I'm going to just work on these 3 pages until this becomes my automatic response to any kind of disturbance? The Course says, because there's something that you're getting out of that suffering, and something that you're getting out of that anger and that judgment that you're not ready to let go of yet. That's why a person wouldn't go ahead and learn very simple things like this that could change the situation. So it says that soul suddenly saw the entirety of their experience. They realized that if they allowed that mallet to fall upon the nail, it would be a decision to choose to continue being nothing more than a doormat for other people's perceptions. And in that very instant, he says, that soul decided to follow a path that would lead to sovereign mastery and never again be a pawn of any government, any group, or any faction, or anyone. That person that was about to nail me through the hand dropped it from their hand. This was a Roman soldier, stood up, walked away, and disappeared. So we just heard how you could totally transform what you would think of as a violent encounter with someone. Let's just say you were walking down the street and someone came up to rob you. We just heard exactly what you do to create a space for that soul to make another choice and walk away from you instead of hurting you. How do I know it might work? Ain't nobody never told me nothing like this. That's not what I've heard anywhere in the world. That's why I know it might work. Unless my imagined need to attack is greater than my desire to practice the truth. My need to be mad at you is more important than the thing that will solve it. That's what he's telling us. That the only reason why I wouldn't do it is my need to go off on you is much greater than my need to ask, what are you really crying out for? What is it you really want? In other words, I would rather attack you than have compassion toward you. And because I would rather attack you, then I'm not going to hear any of this, because I have a need to get your butt back. Wow. That is so deep, man. And he says that one has gone on to become a master, the one who's going to nail him to the cross. He says that is known by literally thousands of beings. This soul is not in physical form. This soul visits many, teaches many. This one indeed incarnated perfect mastery and therefore transcended the world. And it all began as the result of my desire to teach only love. So my desire to teach only love can lead to freeing someone else to being a master. Because I desire to see love. How can I do that? By remembering that I'm not different from that person. I've done the exact same thing that that person has done. They've given me an opportunity to have it healed within myself. By being willing to say, that's my past, and then say, what is it that my pain is really hiding and masking? And what is it that this person's pain is really masking? What's the real reason we acting so crazy with each other? What's the real reason? Because the Course in Miracles teaches we're never upset for the reason we think. That we're never upset for the reason we think. We're never upset for the reason we think. We're never upset for the reason we think. Nobody's upset for the reason they think they are. You tell me the reason you think you're upset, and you just told me the thing that you're not upset about. So let's just get that out the way. The first thing you tell me that you're upset about, that's the thing I can dismiss. It's the cover for the real thing that's upsetting you. So I need to ask, what is it that you really are asking for? Because that's how I would heal myself. Okay. It says now we have a very good friendship. Any questions, any comments? That was a lot. Any questions, any comments about anything that we've said so far? I really love, thank you, I love being able to push through the material with you and hear the material with you. It's very powerful for us to do that. That's why you see me always sticking to the book. You know, I could just sit here and talk, but it's like, no. Let this inspire me. Let this inspire us. It's another way of looking at things. That's what we're here for, is to hear another way of looking at things, and it's easier to hear it together, to me. All right, so any comments, any questions? Yeah.
I love the beautiful imagery of at the pit of what had to be the worst experience on the planet, right? A nail driven knowing that that's the least of what's going to happen. You know, that the place of awareness was such that instantaneously Yeshua could look at the eyes of another, see their soul, and both were healed.
That's right.
And knowing that Jesus said, "This you shall do what I have done and so much more."
That's right.
And so not only can I do that, I can do so much more. And so what a beautiful imagery to just look in the eyes, see the soul, and healing.
I love it when you talk dirty. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, it's better than a 900 number, girl. Thank you for talking. Tell me the truth. Anybody else got anything they want to say or ask about? But I'd love to hear what you think. It doesn't have to be a question. It can just be a realization that you want to share that you made.
Usually when you look in the eye of your crucifier, or your perceived crucifier, that when you finally have that experience, then you realize that's not what's crucifying you.
Yes. What's really crucifying?
When you face it. When you face whatever that person or wherever you perceive it's coming from. Like, I remember this seminar I took that you're supposed to ask somebody out that you most not want to ask out for lunch, and then tell them why you didn't want to ask them out for lunch, and then have a discussion, and you then come back and have a talk about it, and it's amazing how that changed everything.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine one time say to me, and it kind of threw me because it was such a perfect question to get you out of denial. He said, you know, what would you say to me right now if you weren't afraid to say it? Whoa. What would you say to me right now if you really weren't afraid to say it? Try that with somebody too. because when people don't no longer want to be around you anyway, they'll tell you everything. And now that it's over between us, I didn't like that, and I didn't really want to do that, and I didn't really want to do that. You know, in other words, I ain't gonna make my sacrifice no more because it's not paying off. So now I'm about to tell you all the things I was doing for you that I really didn't want to do, but I was doing it because I thought it would allow me to get my agenda done. Okay, so again, what is it that you're doing for me that you don't want to do, that you can tell me if you weren't afraid to tell me? What is it you think about me that you would say to me if you weren't afraid to say it? You know, most people don't really want to know what other people think. Don't really want to tell other people what they really think about them, not because they're afraid of that person's reaction so much as they don't know if they can handle that person turning back around and telling them what they really think about them. Because you know what people do. The minute you tell them whatever you're thinking, then they'll come, well, let me tell you what I think about you too. And then you freak out because you wasn't ready to hear what they had to say about you, because your perception of yourself is that you're just fine. They're the one with the problem. It don't have nothing to do with you. You know, and all of a sudden, and so opportunity. I need to remember that because I had something come up today that I didn't see it as an opportunity. I didn't. This class was made for me tonight. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I needed to hear this. It was exactly what I needed to hear tonight. Anybody else? It's exactly what they needed to hear right now about something or somebody. Absolutely. There's no accident that we sitting around here.
Earl, before the confrontation happens, that I feel like I have to react to somebody because of something. Do you think it's possible to just be in a state of mind that prevents that confrontation even happening in the first place?
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. It's possible to be in a state of mind, because that's what these steps do. They take you to the point that you will be in a state of mind that these confrontations will stop happening. Because to think about it, if the only reason why it's showing up is to get me to take a look at something within my own mind that needs to be transformed, and I allow myself to be transformed over and over until I am transformed, then there's no need to have those things happen anymore. So of course it looks like your life will become 1,000% more peaceful because you are healed. You've transformed it. How do you transform it? By owning it. By owning it as, you know what, I've had murderous thoughts too. Oh, I've been jealous too. Oh, I've felt selfish. Whatever it is they're doing, tell yourself that. Now notice it didn't say you were that way, that's your state of being. It's just talking about a state of mind. So don't confuse what you see as being a reflection of you. He said it's a reflection of something within your mind that's unhealed that needs to be healed. That's not the same as saying it's a reflection of you. That's a very important distinction. Yes.
I think it's cool just the way everything was worded. I think if you just recognize that you have felt the same way as everybody at some point in time, it's a lot easier to feel compassion for them because you're feeling compassion for yourself rather than just analyzing the crap out of it and breaking it down and then ultimately getting nowhere and taking 3 steps back.
Yes.
So the way that was worded was really good.
And I think that was great the way you put it. Analyzing the crap out of you. That was very good. That was very analyzing the crap out of you. That was good. That was very good. Thank you. Thank you. That was a very powerful statement. Oh Lord. Yeah, because not letting it pass through you is like having major spiritual constipation.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And you need instead of taking X-lax, you take relax. You know, that was we were told what to take. You take some relax.
Yeah.
Okay. You know. That was a graphic image, wasn't it? Good. That's what we need.
I'm writing that down.
Write that down. Write that. Take that down.
Would you put that on Facebook for us, please?
Anybody else? Any ahas? Yes, Brother Keith.
Here's an aha.
Okay.
I thought it was fantastic how the true grievance isn't the guy murdering you, but the realization that you recognize the murderous thoughts from your own mind.
That's right.
The deeper level, that's the real grievance. That blew my mind.
That's the real grievance. And if I do that, he says, you've now shifted the energy that allows their soul, which I thought was interesting, because you've already made another choice. You made another choice just by being willing to see it as your own past. Now, in doing that, you created a space because you're joined, so you created a space for their soul to make another choice. And notice that what keeps an argument going forever? Each person wants to be right more than they want to be happy. Two people holding a position that neither one wants to give. I mean, most of all, the two people seeing themselves as separate. I'm different from you. You're different from me. The minute you go, no, we're the same, that's the most important step that you can take toward healing any confrontation with anybody, especially those who are the most intimate with you, because they're going to be the ones that you're going to most likely have the disturbance with. Right? Think about it. If you look over your life, total strangers have disturbed you a lot less than the people you know.
Amen.
But all of us act like it's the strangers that's the ones to watch out for. It's not the strangers that's the one to watch out for. It's the personal, special relationship choices we're making to watch out for. It's the boss you know. It's the coworker you see every day. It's the child. It's the lover. It's 99% of the upset, the opportunity. Isn't that great? I form a relationship with someone that gives me endless opportunities. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Unlimited.
Yeah, every attraction is the perfect storm. Perfect match. Perfect match. Perfect match. Okay, let's go a little bit deeper. Let's see what else is in this.
What page are we on?
We're on page. Oh God, I just knocked whatever it was in my. Okay, yeah, here we go. We're on page 37 in the way of the heart. Okay. All right. Then it goes on to say, oh yeah. It says, so you see, you may not know how powerful your choice for healing is. You may not really see how deeply and profoundly your choice for healing will affect you. as you go on being a creator, you go on forever. You know, we just as well get this together because we go on forever. We just well get it together because we go on forever. For instance, let's say you didn't wear the same clothes that you wore yesterday. So you dropped the clothes, and then you put on some more clothes, and then you wore those clothes, and then you put on some more clothes, and then you wore those clothes, then you took them on. Okay, you wore one body, then you took the body off, and then you wore another body, then you take the body off, then you wear another body. You know, but suppose you fell in love with the coat in your closet. And so all you was doing was hanging around your closet all day. It's time for y'all to come out the closet. I want my whole class to come out the closet tonight. Okay, because when you get addicted to the body, that's the same as you becoming addicted to a pair of pants. And when they wear out, you freak out instead of getting another pair of pants. Now, you don't have to believe anything I'm saying, but that's an interesting point of view. That's why it's saying you're going to go on forever. So you could never possibly know what fruits will be born from that tree in the life of another. But because all minds are joined, when you choose healing through forgiveness, you literally create the space in which the other person can also heal their lives. I'll say that again. When you choose your healing, you create a space that the other person can also heal their lives. So the biggest favor I could do for anybody I love is to allow myself to be healed. But my ego loves to say one rule. If you were different, I'd be happy. 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 If something about you changed, I would be happy. If something about my classes changed, I would be happy. If something outside of myself changed, I would be happy. I would be happy if you all changed. I would be happy if you changed. I would be happy if you changed. I would be happy if you changed. So what am I telling that person all the time? You're not okay. 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 If you changed, I'd be happy. If you changed, I'd be happy. If you acted differently, I'd be happy. If you weren't the way you are, I'd be happy. So what does a conscious being do? A conscious being just asks questions. What do you mean? They say stuff like, universe, spirit, higher power, what do you want me to do in this situation? Where do you want me to go? What do you want me to say? Who do you want me to say it to? Conscious being asks a lot of questions. What would it take in this situation to resolve it right now in ways beyond my wildest imagination? What would it take for me to experience peace and love with this person, Holy Spirit? What would it take for me to have peace in my job? What would it take for me to change my mind? A conscious being is asking questions. They don't talk in conclusions. They don't make statements, because that means you already think you know what the solution is. So I got to work on that too. Anybody else? Okay. Then it says, let no moment then be wasted. See nothing as ordinary. See not the perceptions taught to you of the world being justified within yourself. I'm not going to try to justify the way the world operates. I'm not going to try to justify what the world teaches. The stupidest issues that I ever see in my life that reflect the dumbest, stupidest part of my own mind, in my perception, is racism. It's the absolute stupidest thing I could ever see. I friggin' don't like you because your skin color is different from mine. The stupidest person that ever walks the earth is a racist. The ignorant, most lower level of consciousness possible is for me to hate you because you have a different color skin from mine. It's the stupidest thing, the most unconscious thing that a person could do. I'm not paying attention to the content of your character. I'm not paying attention to how you think. I'm not dealing with nothing but the color of your friggin' skin, so I don't like you. So I was born in the South, in segregated America, because I was a racist. So I was born black, so I could experience the oppression of the color of my skin when I was growing up, because I was a racist. And it wasn't until I owned my own racism and that what I was seeing was a reflection of my own mind that I met nice white people like you. The nicest white people I have ever met in my whole life. Because I've been white in the past and you've been black in the past. Because whatever you see is your past.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And so you were slaves, and so now you are rebels. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like, hey, no, this works the other way. You were the slave, so now you appear to be the master. You appear to be the ones with the power. So now it's a chance for you to see if you're going to do what was done to you by how you treat me, and vice versa. I was the master, so now it looks like I'm the one that's oppressed in the dream, right? That's because I know what freedom feels like, so I'm not going to accept it. I'm not going to accept being repressed and limited because I remember what it was like being free. It has to be that way because I can only see the past. I'm only seeing what I need to forgive in myself. That's it. Now, that's what a conscious being says. It doesn't go, oh, I'm not racist, but the police are. No. No, I'm just like the police and the police just like me. Oh, the police are violent, but then on the other hand, I'm violent too. We're both being violent. We're the same. So I need to take a shift from hating the police by recognizing that I've been just like the police so that I can create a shift that will create a space for the policemen to change their mind. Do you follow what I'm saying? There were some people that cheered when the policeman got ran over the other day when they were with the marchers. But those same people would be appalled if the police cheered when they got their butt kicked. You see what I'm saying? We don't see that we're projecting the exact same energy that we're fighting against. Exactly. No matter how justified you feel, if I hit you and you just hit me, no matter how much I justified I feel, we just did the same thing. We hit each other. It don't make any difference why. So that energy, that creation is going to come back to me. I'm walking down the street one day and somebody just knocked my block off. And I wonder, what? Because there's this game going on now where people just randomly walk up to people and knock them out. That's how crazy it's got. For the fun of it.
Jeez.
So how do I keep that from happening to me? Since I obviously cannot have police everywhere I am, I practice recognizing that I've done stupid crap like that in my life. I've done something stupid too that was random, stupid, didn't make any sense. Own that I've done stupid stuff that doesn't make any sense. What is that person who would do that really crying for? What are they really asking for? So that I can try to have some compassion for somebody that crazy. So that what? I can be a means and a vessel for the answer to come through that heals them and me. I won't be on that vibration, and so I won't be meeting people who walk up to me and knock my block off. Because there ain't enough police to protect you. It's your consciousness and your connection to spirit that's going to protect you. Right? Ultimately, it's going to be your state of mind and your connection to God. However you call that. Deep. We are very old, advanced souls. Don't any soul come to earth that's a wimp. You don't come here. Don't know wimpy souls come here. I'm telling you now. The rest of them are just looking at us with, my God, check out where they went. I know. Why don't we just call it hell? That's a good name for where they are. They think they're going to hell. They're in hell. What do you mean you're in hell? Well, you're in a place where you fear, and you're a place you think you can be hurt, and you're a place that you think there's competition, there's not enough, and people don't see. That's hell.
Yeah.
You're in a place that anything can happen to you at any time. That's hell. So what are we here for? We are here to transform hell. We are here to turn it into heaven. We are here to turn fear into love. We are here to represent the cool stuff. We are the soldiers of light.
Yep.
I'm just a black light. That's right. You put the right stuff on the walls and the door around me. I'm black like Purdy. That's me. I'm telling you. Somebody, okay. Are y'all with me on this? Now, you don't have to believe in any of this. You don't have to accept any of this. But isn't it cool? You know, just to think, wow, I might be more than what I think I am. It might be more to this than what I believe. I just heard tonight how to make sure that I could transform any situation that might hurt me. Be wholly committed to rooting up and out of your being anything that's unlike the love of Christ. Think not that I'm the only one that can love this way. It's not true. You are here to love as I learned to love. Why do you need to learn to love the way Jesus learned to love, or Buddha learned to love, or Krishna learned to love, or, you know, Fred Jones? Why are you here? Because the biggest masters we don't even know about. You drive down the street every night and pass by houses that are full of masters and don't even know it. There's people levitating in this neighborhood right now that you will never see levitating because it scare the hell out of you. And conscious beings never do anything that scare others. So they act normal when they're around people who would be freaked out by it, just like you act another way when you're around your family and friends who would be freaked out by you being here tonight. So it's other beings doing you the exact same way. They're 10 times more advanced, but they're cooling it down for you. So they look normal. Like the person who hands you the sign when you're at an intersection that says, "Could you give me some money?" Sometimes you pass by the biggest masters coming out of Walgreens and you don't even know it. I was driving to church one day to do a class, and I was going about 35 miles an hour easily. I had the green light on Colfax. This lady just completely disregarded the light walking. My car hit her. She spun around, flopped down in the street, and I was like, Holy Spirit, decide for me, Holy Spirit. I looked in the rearview mirror. She jumped up off of the street, jogged around in a circle, and ran down the street. And the people around me were saying, "Did you see that?" And then I went to Walgreens later that day, and the lady behind the cash register was talking to another. She said, "Did you see what happened today when that lady got hit by that car and she got up and ran down the street?" The first place I went to was truth, God. Give me another way to look at this. First of all, because it was like, that was not the way I wanted to spend the rest of my day. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I knew I could make a choice. And you can make a choice at any given moment what it is that you want to experience. Now, you don't have to believe me. That's okay. What difference does it make if you believe me or not? It was my experience. And I can tell you story after story after story like that in the last 34 years of studying the Course in Miracles and doing stuff like the Way of Mastery. This is not what you think it is. And you can't have miracles appear to happen if you're in a state of mind that permits them. But if you're so fixed about what you think is possible and not possible, then you shut yourself off from miraculous things that could happen to transform and turn your life around. Open your mind so that it can free your behind. That's why groups like this are small, because it's not a lot of people that's willing to break out of the paradigm that their ego in the world has been teaching them. I'm proud of us for being willing to be radical thinkers, you know, and that freaked me out. Okay, that was freaky. That was really freaky. As a matter of fact, it had to be right up there among high freak stuff, except for prom night. You know, so why did you learn to love? He says, why? Because you are that love. Everything else is a smoke screen. You are that love. Everything else is just a smoke screen. And so forgiveness is necessary. Forgiveness is a skill, an art that will pay you dividend upon. Now, forget the regular definitions of forgiveness. Forget the regular definition. When it says forgive, it is not saying I want you to overlook what you think somebody really did to you. It's not saying I want you to overlook what you think someone did to you because you are on a higher level of consciousness. Forgiveness is not overlooking what you think someone has done to you. True forgiveness is seeing situations correctly. Seeing them with awareness. In other words, you are forgiving me when you say, you know what I'm seeing in you? That's something that I've done in the past. What is it that's really going on? What is the way you're asking really masking? That's forgiveness. I want another way to look at it is forgiveness. It's not, my daddy beat me to a pulp when I was a kid, and this book is asking me to overlook that. That's not what it's doing at all. It's trying to get me to ask, what is it that my father was crying for? What was really going on within him that would make him appear to abuse my mother? And what was it in my mother that would create a husband that would appear to abuse her? What are they both crying out for? And what am I crying out for as the child who looks like he's traumatized by seeing it all? What is it that I'm looking at? My past that needs to be forgiven. Oh, I know that I was an abusive father. Oh, and I was also a mother that seemed like she was a martyr and self-sacrificing and a victim. And I'm just looking at my own past. How do I know I used to be a woman? I'm looking at them. How do you know you used to be a man? You're looking at them. Why did I choose to be a man? For the same reason, so that I could learn to love. It's all for the same reason, no matter what role we took. It's all for the same reason, to learn to love. It's easy to love somebody I like. So I try to start off with the people I like. Wow. I looked on Oprah yesterday. She had this soul class kind of thing, and she had the CEO of Whole Foods, the guy that created and started the whole Foods. He was so friggin' conscious that it was like, my God, this guy is off the chain. And he says it really is no longer whole paycheck; it's Whole Foods. And so, and so he said when he was 19 years old, he made the decision that he wasn't going to do anything else for the rest of his life that he didn't want to do. No matter what his mother said, what his father said, what his friend, he said he was not going to do anything else that he did not want to do. Okay, so he dropped out of school, dropped out of college. He was fascinated by food, and one of the things he said was interesting was since it didn't no longer matter to him whether or not he graduated, because he just was going to do what he really wanted to do and what he loved. He just started taking classes that he thought would be interesting rather than classes that he thought he would have. So he still went to school, but he didn't care anything about whether or not he got a degree, so he just studied everything that he would love to study. And I thought about that. He said, I decided I was not going to do anything that I really didn't want to do. In other words, he said, and I love the way he said this, he said, I took control of my life. And I said, that's right. That's what taking control of your life really means. It means you're acting from the heart and from inspiration. You're doing the stuff that turns you on, and you're not going to do nothing that doesn't turn you on. That's what a person does who takes control of their life. They start choosing what they want to do, and it's a loving thing, not to hurt anybody, regardless of what society is saying, what anybody else is saying. That's what they do. He said that he only gets paid $1 a year because he wanted to see what it felt like just to work for the fun of it, because he loves it so much. But of course we know he never has to work another day if he wanted to. But still, how many people that you know, that you read about, that really don't need any more money, they're still trying to get more, right? And he's like going, nope, $1 a year, it's all good. He said, because he said, you got to love everybody that works for you. You got to love. He said, I love this business. I love the people that I work with. They're my team. They're not my employees. It's been like one of the best top places to work for the last 18 years, according to Forbes magazine.
Wow.
So my point in saying that is, do you go to work with love? You know what I'm saying? I remember when I walked out of my job, a corporate job, I went, you know what? No, I got to do something different. My wife had no idea I was going to quit my job that morning. I didn't have any idea I was going to quit my job that morning. But it hit me, I'm not spending the rest of my life doing something that I don't want to do. And I need to stop right now because they're getting ready to promote me again. And I'm going to mess around and buy something. And then I'm going to find myself owned by my house and owned by my car. And so I have to go to the job every day. Whether I like it or not, I'll be tempted to do that because I've created such debt for myself that I think I got to stay in it. So I went, got to stop now. I got to do what I love. Oh, what could that be? Oh, I love astrology. I love numerology. I love the Course in Miracles. It really moves me. But you can't live doing the Course in Miracles and stuff like that. And you can't. All I know is 27 years later. There's no Course in Miracles, astrology, and numerology school. So what is my point? You can do what you love, but you got to have guts, and you got to have faith in something greater than yourself. And you got to learn how to do this kind of stuff. And I'm still learning this, but I want it to get better and better and better and better. And then I want to share it so I can have it. You follow what I'm saying? Takes guts to be happy. Takes courage to be happy. Takes a willingness to go against what everybody else believes and what they say. But it doesn't mean you confront them. It doesn't mean you constantly got to have them all PO'd at you all the time. You know, you learn how to be a chameleon. And that's not being untrue to yourself. Some people, well, I'm not gonna not be true to my. Well, being true to yourself is being loving. That's being true to yourself, because you are loved. Now remember, if anybody's loving you, anybody's giving you a lot of great energy, and they look like they're making you feel really important and really valuable, understand that that's coming from you. And they are just the channel for what you're giving yourself. Don't mistake them for being the source of that joy and love that you're experiencing. Because then you're attached to them like a little barnacle, and you become hell and they want to get rid of you. Because you strangle them to death with your neediness. Because you really think they are your love. They are the source of your happiness. You follow what I'm saying? If you got nice people in your life, they came from you. So somebody could pick you up out of that circle of wonderful people that you're in, and they could drop you in a whole nother state and city, and you're going to start drawing nice people right there too. There's a friend of mine that's on a vision quest that just traveling everywhere she could imagine that she went. As a matter of fact, talking about Susan who used to come here. Right now she got in a car and she went, I'm going to just do and see what's out there. Wow. And she was like, I was talking to you, she just got back from a cruise. And I was like, and she's getting ready to go on another one, you know. And what she was saying, oh, everybody's so nice, everybody's so nice, everybody's so loving, everybody's so loving, everybody's so nice, that's you, Susan. It's you. That's why it's coming at you anywhere. That's your protection. You be it. You're gonna have people around you that's gonna reflect that back to you. Woo! God, we got witnesses all around us. Everything else is a smoke screen. You are the love. All right. Any questions, any comments about anything out of all that little rant that I just did?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
It's super awesome. Yeah.
A woman, quote unquote, by herself, gets in her car. I trust spirit. I've been listening to what you've been saying on Tuesdays and Sundays. I'm not alone. I'm going to see what it's out here to explore and to experience. And guess what happens? One loving thing after another loving thing after another loving thing after another loving thing after another loving thing. Because that's what she is. Be what you want to have is what the Course in Miracles teaches. Be it to have it. And it works. I want people to be friendly to me. I'm going to go into this party and be friendly. I want somebody to ask me out to lunch. I'm going to go in here and ask someone out to lunch. Everything I want you to do for me, I'm going to do it for me, and I'm going to offer it to you. That's not the way sleepy, unconscious people do it. They sit back and they wait for it to come to them without them having a corresponding consciousness. I've gone to parties and gone to clubs and sitting there, and the first thing I do is walk in there and say, I bless everybody in this club, I bless everybody in this club. It's me, I'm looking at me, all of it's innocent me. Holy Spirit, you know who in this club would be the perfect people for me to hang out tonight. You know the women that would be absolutely perfect for me to be with tonight. You know the men that would be absolutely perfect. I don't really know who they are. Certainly, I look at my track record, I don't know who they are. So I'm asking you to be in charge. I'm closing my eyes, I open my eyes, and there's a woman standing in front of me saying, you look like you're a really cool person. I just saw you sitting over here. You mind if I sit down and talk? Right there. Done it more times than you would believe. Sometimes I go through the thing, open my eyes, and ain't nobody there. The place is empty. Why? It wasn't nobody there I was supposed to hook up with. So I don't go, oh, the truth doesn't work. The truth doesn't work. No, the truth did work. You didn't need to hook up with none of them. You follow? So you go somewhere and it looks like nobody's reached out to you, and but you're going there with an open heart. Go, I was protected today. This was the perfect. Nobody's talked to me tonight, and that's if you really come in with an open heart, not just you really don't have no good vibes. That's a different thing, right? This stuff works, but you have to work it. And all that means is, let's keep it simple. All that means is, I walk into the room and I say, everybody in the room is me. Anything that anybody in the room is doing, I have done or wanted to do. They're giving me an opportunity to heal something within myself. I'm going to see them as calling for love. And so that creates a shift that allows me to be used to heal them, and that creates love for all of us. That's how it works. If you're the kind of person that you walk into a class and you never introduce yourself to anybody, you've been coming here for months and you haven't ever spoke to anybody, you need to start speaking to people. You need to give what you want to receive. And get off it, I'm shy, I'm bashful, and all of those are just constructs, descriptions, and concepts you've made up about yourself that now you believe that has nothing to do with who you really are. And you can change them anytime you want to. I'm just bashful. No, that's a bashful concept. I used to be so bashful when I was a child that I didn't walk out of a room. I crawled out of a room around the baseboard. That's how shy I was. I wouldn't even walk. And look at me now. Still scared, but going past it. Because I have to do it every time. I come in the room and get ready to start teaching you all. I have to go, I'm just with myself. These are my brothers and sisters whom I love. Let me recognize as brothers. I recognize myself. I'm one with them. This is a blessing. This is an opportunity. I have to tell myself the truth to get past my own bashfulness, my own concept of myself. But you have to be proactive, right? Right. And so you wouldn't be hearing this unless you already believed it. Because everything physical is an effect and not a cause. So by the time you see something physical, it's already been caused. So you created this class, you created me in this class, and you created everybody in this room, and everything that you are hearing is just your own thoughts. So that's why you already know this, because you're hearing it. Wow. The most loving person you can imagine must be you, because you're seeing them. Whoa. Whoa. Did you hear what I said? So when we say stuff like what you see in somebody else is in you, the mind has a tendency to go the negative things. And overlook all the beautiful people, the cool people, the loving people, the generous people, the kind people that you see in your life are also coming from you. And if you don't think you deserve the love that you're receiving from all of these people, it just means you love yourself more than you think you do. Got it? How do I know I love myself more than I think I do? I have people that treat me better than I think I deserve. That's how I know I love myself more than I realize. How do I know that I really don't love myself as much as I should? Then I think I'm cooler than all the people I'm around. So if you're one of those people that go, everybody else is the problem, but I'm really cool people, then you have a lot of thoughts about yourself that are unloving that you don't know that you have. And then one day it becomes equal. Like, you know you're loving and you deserve it, and the people around you feel like you're loving and you deserve it. And then your test becomes, how much love can I handle? How much acknowledgement can I handle? Whew. Wow. That's the test that you're going to have one day. How much good stuff can I handle? Wow, what a great test. Isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's coming. It's coming. You're being prepared. I'm here to help prepare you for everything you've ever wanted in your heart happening. So that you won't freak out, sabotage, and then screw up again. And me too. Because I'm no different from you. If I sit up here and act like I'm different from you, then I've missed the whole lesson. If I think I'm superior to you, I've missed the whole lesson. We're together in this. And I'm glad that I got you. I'm glad we're in this together. Aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, let's give it up for us. Woo! Woo! Lord have mercy. Good stuff. Thank you, God. Let's do the financial expression of appreciation. Thank you for sharing with me. I thank you from the bottom and the sides of my heart. I'm a full-time teacher this, and God is channeling through you. So thank you for sharing with me. Those of you online that want to share financial expression of appreciation, you can go to my website at earlpurdy.com, and you can do it from there. Thank you, those of you who are sharing, and thank you, those who don't. It's all love. It's all love. And everybody's at different levels of wanting to give and to share. Also, I do one-on-one sessions called Clarity Sessions, where we work on this stuff and apply it to a particular situation in your life. And also I use my knowledge of astrology and numerology for those that are open to it. And so we got your chart there, we got the truth there, and we got whatever it is that you're telling yourself that's an opportunity that we can go through, and we can work through that together. So anybody's interested in doing that, do that on a one-on-one, go to my website and it explains it in detail. And go to the website and sign up for the contact list so you can get links to these classes that I'm doing, so you can listen back to them again. All right, and it's going to be another announcement right at the end of the class, okay? And because there's some great opportunities here to do some cool stuff, especially next door. So, pretend I'm a Broncos whenever the bag come around. Pretend I'm a Bronco. All right, now. For people to pay $400 for a Bronco ticket.
Wow.
You know. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They have tickets at that game that cost $10,000.
Oh my gosh.
And people are there paying it. It's all about what you value. It's always, people always give for things they value. I've seen the brokest people in the world come up with money when it was something they really wanted to do. Hey, I don't have a dime. I don't have a dime. I don't have no money. I don't have no money. I haven't seen you in a while. Where you been? India? Because they want to go to India. Y'all know we do that. Let's get real. You know we always come up with money for what we really value. Always. Always. And that's because we're powerful. Whatever we have an intention about that we really wholly desire, that's how you create. You create through completely wholly desiring something without having an opposite desire to it. It can't be, I kind of want a relationship and I kind of don't want a relationship. I want to be financially prosperous and I hate rich people. I want the man of my dreams. You can't trust me. I want the woman of my dreams. You know, women lie constantly. No, you just have to understand women mean what they say when they say it. That's it. You better, right then, you better jump on it right that moment. It ain't later. Because the feminine is the ocean. It's always changing. You see, but then the man that said, well, you know, women lie. You can't believe nothing they say. No. You got out of the present. That's what you did with her. You got out of the present. She meant that when she said it. But now she's changed her mind. Get out of here. When I said masculine and feminine, I'm not talking about men and women. I'm talking about masculine and feminine. There are men with feminine essences women, with male essences. We talking about the essence of the being, not the gender of the being. And if you want passion in a relationship and fire in a relationship, you got to have that polarity of the masculine and the feminine. Somebody's got to be coming out of that energy, and somebody's got to be coming out of the other one. I'm telling you, if it's any other way, you neutralize each other, and you just become really cooled out with each other, but ain't no fire no more. Then you become the peck on the lip. Goodbye. See you. Okay. All right. You want to keep past the lip smacking stage. You want to keep that passion going, right? And I'm not talking about necessarily sexual passion. I'm talking about passion. You know what I'm saying? It's just one way that the passion can come out, right? So we are free. We are free. We can choose how we want to experience it. So let's try not to do what we don't want to do. Start there. Go, I'm going to gradually, as fast as I can, allow myself to choose to have a life where I'm doing what I want to do all day. Wow. All day long. When I don't have to get up at a certain time, my butt gets up early in the morning. It's the weirdest thing. It's like I haven't had to get up for years, except when I want to. And I get up really early. Now tell me I got somewhere to be, and so I got to set an alarm clock. And I swear to God, it's like, oh no! You're telling me I got to get up. I want to sleep. It's wild how that works. So the minute that you're at choice, that's how you know how somebody really feel about you. If I tell you I'm totally free with you, I'm totally free. I'm a total yes to you. I'm totally open to you in every way. I'm yours. You can experience me any way you want to. All right. I'm glad that was good news. I'm glad that was good news for you. And the person doesn't do anything. That's what they want to do with you. Nothing. Yep. See, it's only within the context of freedom that you really know what people really want and how they really are. Then okay, I said that to you, and you just want to hold hands, or you just want to walk, or you just want to go to a movie, you just want, everything that's happening with me is at choice. So that's a really cool experience.
Yeah.
You see, but if you think a person's denying you something that you want, then that's when we get into the manipulation, get energy. Because at that point, I got to try to get you to do something you don't really want to do with me. So the thing that when you love yourself is you want what wants you. That's the first thing you start. You stop wanting what's unavailable. Wow. And then admit to yourself if they're unavailable, that's the way you want it. Then you'll be cooled out. Why am I always with unavailable men? Because you don't want to be with an available man. You like the freedom that you think you're having from not being around somebody all the time. So you're going to be with somebody that can't be with you all the time. Because you don't want to be with anybody all the time. That's why they haven't showed up. We always are the chooser. We are powerful. So we are at the point now that we're about to have everything we've ever wanted in our hearts presented to us, but we have to be on a level of consciousness where we will allow it to happen and we'll receive it, because you have to be able to receive to complete the giving. You know what it feels like to want to give something to somebody and they don't want to receive it from you. It's not a good feeling. No. Yeah, so when your good comes to you, you want to be on a level of consciousness that you can totally embrace it and let it in. What you would do if you think you deserve it. You let it right in. Oh, God. So you don't know how many people you're surrounded by all the time that would be the best experience you ever could have in your life. But you haven't gotten to the point yet that you think you deserve it yet. So you look for somebody that seems to be more unconscious than you. I said it again. So you look for somebody that seems to be more unconscious than you. Because then I'm in the superior position. The power dynamic is one where I think I'm the one that's got the advantage. So then I study all this stuff, right? But I fall in love with somebody who absolutely doesn't want to do any of it. because it creates a power dynamic, I think, where I'm more aware. So I feel safer because I'm in more control of the situation. Woo! That's deep, man. Because then you got to be the one that's always being the conscious one. That's the downside of that. You know, you'll be trying to practice up, okay, they're acting crazy. What does it mean? There's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for me to see myself, to be healed. I'm going to forgive them because I want to be able to be loving, because I want to create that shift. So you'll be trying to be really, really compassionate to them, but they are not doing this, so they can't give it back to you. So you always have to forgive over and 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 over. That's so you got to have an equal. And an equal just simply means somebody who's willing to join with you and y'all have a common purpose and a common goal together. Doesn't mean they're smarter than you or you're smarter. It's not about the intelligence. It's about a willingness to have a common purpose together. Yeah. So, wow. Okay, we got just 2 or 3 more minutes. So let's do this one more time, okay? I think this is very important that we do. Thank you so much. I really needed to hear this tonight. Because I had an opportunity today that I didn't see correctly. When you leave out of here tomorrow, somebody might give you the opportunity to be disturbed. That's a sign that there's something in you that requires a healing. So say, I count it as a blessing when I become disturbed. I count it as a blessing when I become disturbed. I count it as a blessing when I become disturbed. I count it as a blessing when I become disturbed. I count it as a blessing when I become disturbed. I count it as a blessing when I become disturbed. Turn your attention away from the person or the thing that you think is disturbing you and tell yourself, I am the source of my experience. I am the source of my experience. And I'm feeling disturbed. I'm feeling disturbed. I'm feeling disturbed. What is it in me that needs to be healed? What is it in me that needs to be healed? I'm feeling disturbed. I'm feeling disturbed. What is it in me that needs to be healed? I am the source of my experience. I am feeling disturbed. What is it in me that needs to be healed? I am the source of my experience. I am feeling disturbed. What is it in me that needs to be healed? What is it in me that needs to be healed? I am the source of my experience. I am feeling disturbed. What is it in me that needs to be healed? What is it in me that needs to be healed? I do things in rhythm and music beside the fact that it's funky and I like to do it because it actually affects me more when I put some kind of rhythm and soul and feeling in it rather than just going, I am the source of my experience. I am feeling disturbed. I am the source of my experience. 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 I am feeling disturbed. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling disturbed. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling depressed. I'm feeling broke. I'm feeling sick. I'm feeling abused. I'm feeling not appreciated. I am feeling disturbed. What is it in me that needs to be healed? I am feeling disturbed. What is it in me that needs to be healed? What is it within this person's energy that's really causing my reaction? What is it within this person's energy that is really causing my reaction? When have I done that to somebody myself? When have I done that to somebody myself? When have I done that to others? When have I done this 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 to others? I forgive myself for doing this. I forgive myself for being that way. I forgive myself for being this way. I forgive myself for being that way. I forgive my judgment. I forgive my judgment. I forgive my judgment of myself, and I choose to teach only love. What is this energy masking? What is this energy hiding? What is this person really crying out for? What is this person that's disturbing me really crying out for? I'm going to feel some compassion. I'm going to allow myself to be an instrument that serves their healing. I'm going to create a different space between us right now, a space that would allow their soul to make another choice. by me joining with them and saying what I'm seeing in them is my own past. What I'm seeing is my own past that creates a shift that allows their soul to heal their mind and transform the whole situation that's disturbing me. You are the source of your experience. You are the source of your experience. You are the source of your experience. So let's acknowledge us, Holy Spirit. We're going to make a little announcement here. Let's give it up. That was deep. That was deep. That was deep. That was deep. That was deep.